Hello and welcome to Casting Roles, a persistent D&D campaign played by a bunch of theater nerds. Thank you for joining us. If you're liking the show, please don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. If you want to find us on social media, we're on Twitter at Casting Roles and on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Casting Roles ILM. Our videos are uploaded on YouTube every Friday. But with no other announcements, we'll go ahead and start the show. So ticket takers, after your travels at the Profane Citadel, you made your way back to Nuevia with a brief pit stop in the Lutrinian Isles, and you reconnected with Abel's Abel's father, Ogun, as well as Jane and Nairoy and Jaren. You explored the city, reconnected with Vicus, who is now kind of trying to discover who he is as a person, delivered a letter to the daughter of Aryan Squall Leader, who was not super happy with hearing about her mother, but read the letter in the end. And as your kind of final day before your traversal to the Blight was winding down, a light energy from the area of the Blight exploded and went off, and you realized that a Lightbringer had been killed. You then all rushed to the Blight to connect with Lenaria Mistweaver, Persephone Mistweaver, Alora, as well as the kind of leading council of individuals there who were kind of staring at the tower with the beam of light energy coming out of it, where you informed them that you were heading off towards Alyria to the capital city of Anorvere in order to bring back Caephus and kill him once and for all, bringing an end to the Veil. Just as they kind of accepted this plan, the battle for the Blight began. And so ticket takers, a little bit of a description of what you're seeing before you make your moves. The last thing that had happened was a shield had gone up from Orisha as hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of arrows were firing in from storming devils and demons out of the Veil. And you watch before you as in the Radiant Legion down below the hill, getting ready to rush into battle, you see many of them falling from the barrage of arrows. At the exact same moment that the arrow barrage begins, you see the ships off the coast of the Blight, the Tidewater vessels, all begin to turn and face the shore, and then their cannon fire begins to go off, raining fire down into the Radiant Legion as well, and you see explosions in the area. However, as you're watching, a massive tidal wave crashes over the Radiant Legion, or the Tidewater ships, as you see Seraphina the Triton rising up with a trident in hand, and then Magus Arcanus, the giant from Azalor, storming into the battlefield with a magical mace, swinging it and blasting spells. You see Sumat and Naginda kind of jump into the fray, leaping off of the mound and turning into their draconic forms and storming forward and blasting energy, laying waste on the front lines of the devil forces. And so a brief moment of immediate attack from the forces of the Veil is kind of set to the side by the arrival of new allies and the Empyreans rising into battle. And then you watch Lenaria, Persephone, and Orisha kind of step to the side, and they all three begin to summon spells, and you see enormous rifts opening in the sky as meteors crash down in front of the Veil, scattering the Veil forces. And for a moment, there seems to be a lull in the battle. And Orisha turns back to look at you all and says, well, if you're going to go, it's probably best to go now, otherwise you might get caught into the battle. Do you need one of us to teleport you, or are you going to be able to make it on your own?
Yeah, I can just do it. I can do it for us.
Okay.
I'll teleport us.
All right. And so she kind of turns back to the battle, and you hear just as Jury begins the casting.
Do we want to take anyone with us?
We're taking Bolton and Zal and Alyria and
Bahamut.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So those 4 are coming with you as well. Yeah. So they kind of gather around, and as Jury is casting the spell, you hear suddenly a roar from the veil as a massive shadowy drake flies out of it as Javaraya enters the battlefield, as another wave of demons and devils begins to pour out of the veil beneath her. And Naginda and Sumat dive into battle against Javaraya to distract her from the forces of the Radiant Legion. And the last thing you see before Jury's spell goes off is Naginda, Sumat clashing with the shadowy drake of Caephus. And then you feel the tug and your vision blurs for a moment, and you find yourselves landing on the teleportation dais in Lunaria Mistweaver's tower in Anorvere.
Well,
Better get a move on.
yep, doesn't feel good leaving that, but don't have much of a choice.
Bahamut kind of turns to you. I hope this better be worth it. Do you all know where you're going?
I look to Mark. We never regret it.
If you would possibly lead the way to the entrance to Caephus's cage, that would be very helpful.
He kind of looks around and he says, well, I'm sure Anorvere has changed somewhat since the last time I saw it, but
Bolton here and Zell know it like the back of their hand.
And
they can assist.
Yeah, and Zell, who is a paladin, has been to the temple before, and she says, well, I believe that I can lead the way if you just follow here. And she kind of winks to the ticket takers, and then you make your way out of Lunaria's tower, and you find yourselves on the suddenly from the din of battle and the clashing of swords and the screaming of people and the roaring of dragons, you find yourselves on the street of Anorvere, and you're kind of in the Violet Conclave, and you walk out of there into the upper kind of echelon regions, and you just see people going about their daily lives, walking.
Did some of them at least
shops.
seem to because I know Iris and them were trying to get people to leave. So
yeah, the individuals in this district of the city do not seem too perplexed by what's going on. Iris did say that she was going to begin with the regions around the temple, and especially because the poorer regions are around the temple, and try to get those individuals out. If you'd like to overhear any conversation that people are having, you can roll a perception check.
Josh, can I also ask you one thing about the last scene I forgot to ask?
Yeah.
Was my dad there with the ships and everything?
Oh, yeah. So the ships were up, they were flying up above as well. And so they were probably moving into range to begin to fire down onto the forces.
Cool. My dad showed up. Just have to put that there so Jury feels motivated.
I just realized that I have 18 bullet points of people that were at the Battle of the Blight, and I just saw that your dad was one of them. So yep. Yep. Maybe if you want to make
me and my dad
check.
Awkwardly said hello, goodbye.
Yeah. If you want to a 19. So what you kind of overhear from people is, while they do seem to be just kind of walking around, you do hear that the conversation around them is you hear conversations around like mass exoduses of people from the city. You hear a couple individuals are talking about the recent light that had shot through the entire world, and there is concern, but you get the impression from these upper crust individuals that it's like Anorvere is the safest place for us. Why would we leave the safest place? And so you do understand that information about leaving or evacuating the city had been communicated outward, but not everyone is choosing to listen to that information.
Nothing we can do about that.
Nope. So
Nothing we can do about stupid people.
no, absolutely not. So you begin to make your way through the city. Enzel is leading you all down towards one of the people mover areas. But when you get there, the people movers have been deactivated. So they are not currently running, probably from an overflow of individuals trying to use them. But as you move closer towards the temple district, you start to see fewer people, and those people who are near here are moving away from this area towards some of the gates of the city. So it does seem like the evacuation orders around the temple are kind of taking off in a way. And as you kind of go through the back streets, at one point, finally, you do get to an open square, probably about 3 miles or 2.5 miles or so from the temple itself. And there you see in her wheelchair, Iris Corday kind of directing individuals and saying, oh, no, they need to go that way. Don't allow them to they're going to clog the arteries. They need to use the side street here. The main thoroughfare is currently blocked off. And then she kind of notices you all.
I like run up to her.
Oh, Jury, thank you so much for the heads up. What is happening down in the Blight that is causing all of this?
Ship's going down.
Yeah, the veil is coming through, so they're fighting there.
Is it coming here?
Well, a possible we're doing something hopefully to stop it here, but it's going to be a little dangerous, so.
Okay. Well, I think we started from the temple district and moved outward. We have made it this far. We tried to get the message out to everybody, but we think that most of the spaces around the temple are clear, at least.
Okay.
This
Thank
is
you.
going to be the most dangerous area.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll start to tell the Vox Populi to back up from here and head towards safety then.
Yeah, we don't know how long it's gonna take us, but yeah, I would stay back until we give you word.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, be safe.
You too.
That's not
Thank
going
you.
to happen.
That's not gonna happen.
But we appreciate the sentiment.
Bolton kind of is looking at Enzel and then is looking at Iris and then looks at Jury and says, oh, in another life. And just follows you all. As probably he would have arrested Iris Corday in another life.
I know. They're just walking together now.
Yeah. But
I want to hear our campaign told from the story of the perspective of
Bolton Good writes the book, yeah.
Worst day ever.
Lord. All right. But you make your way out of kind of this and into the next district, and you're one district or so away from the temple district. And here it's like a ghost town. Having been to the bustling metropolis of Anorvere and seeing the million people that live here walking the streets and buying their wares and living their lives, to walk into these empty city streets immediately kind of brings to mind the chaos of the moment. As you're kind of making your way through and not seeing anybody, Enzel guiding you, you finally get, and this is probably over the course of a couple, like an hour and a half, 2 hours worth of walking and making your way through the city. You finally get to the base of the temple district, one of the massive hills of Anorvere that rises up in the center of the city. Here, a park of beautiful trees and flowing water. And the water seems to be coming from the top of the hill, where upon it sits a massive temple, a tall central spire with a single beam of white energy shooting out of the top of it, and 8 towers surrounding it, none of them with beams of energy shooting out. And you begin to make your way up through the park district. Kind of circling around the hill and then arriving at the top, You find yourselves kind of on a long marbled bridge lit with lights that lead into the central temple structure, a massive door that's 30 feet high, arched at the center. And kind of standing at this bridge looking across, all you can see from the interior of the temple is just this white light pouring out as the sun is kind of beginning to lower in the horizon and begin its process of setting here. You see just this kind of light bathing the bridge, scattering, kind of catching the feldspar and the rocks around it, gleaming with energy and light. And you make your way across into the temple. And for the first time, for all of you, you see a god. Towering in the center of the temple, a massive form of energy that occasionally is taken shape in kind of geometric patterns or expressions, vaguely sometimes humanoid, but mostly an entity of just light and energy. You see Bellinor floating in the center of the temple, and around the base of his central abode here, a large fountain sits, and there are a multitude of priests walking around, going around their daily business here in the temple district as the god floats above them. And you're immediately approached by one of them in a white habit, younger, probably in his 20s, probably an early priest. Thank you so much. Visiting hours for the temple are only for another 30 minutes or so, but if you're here to express prayer, you're more than welcome to peruse or visit various different halls of the gods.
We're at the Adventurers Guild. You need to evacuate everyone here. Caephus is coming.
Make a persuasion check with advantage, because you probably scared the shit this little kid. Because not only did you say that, but people don't call him Caephus, they call him the stranger, because
I love it.
Yeah.
But might it instead be an intimidation check?
You can intimidate, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Just because that's a little better for me.
And that was intimidating as hell.
It's not a lie. I told the truth. 21.
21. He immediately kind of goes, we heard there was an evacuation happening around the city, but we weren't exactly sure why. What do you mean? The stranger is coming here.
I don't know if you noticed, but a light bringer fell.
Yes.
The tower is gone. The veil is open. He is coming. You need to leave now.
You should find the high priest, perhaps, because unless he delivers the order, then the rest of the monastery will not abandon their posts.
Take us to him.
Oh, okay. And he kind of guides you around the large central fountain space, back towards the back end of this circular structure, and you see a raised dais area where there is an altar where somebody probably delivers sermons or takes in supplicants. You see an older gentleman kind of hunched over at his spine, darker skin tone, bald head, a long kind of goatee beard that's white and pepper gray, and he is standing with a large pole, very ornate white robes with a gold kind of trim around them. And he is in the middle of prayer as you approach, and he says, "High priest, bring word from the Adventurers Guild about the issues of the blight. I will turn it over to them."
You need to evacuate the temple. Caephus is going to come out of his cage.
My child. Many people have said that Caephus is going to return.
I am the chosen of Suvana. I have just come from the blight with my friends. I have seen the veil open. A lightbringer has fallen. If you do not evacuate this place now, then you and all your followers in here will die. Do you want that on your soul?
Make another intimidation check with advantage.
I feel like I'm like holding Saurus like he's my rowdy 5-year-old.
Asshole.
Saurus, where to place worship?
It's funny. I have my string of insults ready to go. Should he
This is
pursue?
the same thing that happened when it was with you, Seth. You were like, "You bitch ass motherfucker," and I was like, "I will take you down eloquently, but I will let my friend hurt your feelings."
It's like oh god, Key and Peele, like the Obama's hype man, like
Yes.
That is a 20.
a 20. Okay. He kind
It's
of
funny
Really good
because
rolls
Saurus
for me.
is the serious, logical one.
Yeah.
so he kind of looks across all of you and says, "Well, Micah, deliver the word to the priests that they may leave. I will not be abandoning my post here, but the other priests may be allowed to go." And you see the little 20-year-old priest kind of runs off, and he starts communicating to the other priests, and you see them kind of looking quizzically at the high priest, but then turning and exiting out of the building.
Josh, can I get a read on this guy if he's like a cleric or if he's just a
Insight?
dude?
Sure. That would, insight. Make an insight check. And if Abel, you want to as well, you can.
Can I assist? I'm not the most
Oh, you want to
insightful.
assist me?
Yeah, you can assist Marlon. Yeah.
Thank you. 30.
30.
Yeah.
So you get the sense that this guy is a very powerful cleric.
Okay.
But very old and probably well past his prime. But he is not a normal person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then that's his choice.
Yeah. So he said. So he kind of turns once the other priests are out of earshot. He says, "You bring an Empyrean into the temple. You must speak truth. What is it that I can do to support you?" And he kind of is looking at Bahamut for the first time, and who's just kind of standing back behind you. His towering Goliath form just has like this imposing figure.
Stay out of the way as much as you can. If someone gets hurt in the fight and you can help them, please do.
Well, I will do my best. But you are going to sit here and wait for Caephus's arrival?
No, we're going to try to meet him where he is,
Oh,
and we know where he's coming.
then you need to
Yeah.
go to the catacombs.
Yes.
Oh, well, he kind of reaches into his his robes and is kind of searching for something, and finally he pulls out a golden key and hands it over to you. He says, no one has been down there for quite some time. We sealed them off a long time ago. Not sure if the passageway is still open, but he kind of points to one of the towers where the entranceway has been. All of the other 8 towers that surround the central one, the passageways are open. They go out to them, and you can see like through one a gleaming meadow of gold of trees and flowers. That's probably Tonatza's. You can see like an endless fountain of water pouring out of one that seems to leave out of the temple and be the source of the water that was running down the hill on the outside for Suvanar. But the temple, one of the towers is sealed off. And he says the catacomb entrance is through that room. I cannot promise that it will be a safe journey for you, but Godspeed, I suppose. And he looks at Bellinor, who's just asleep, floating there, as much a god and powerful, but helpless.
Thank you.
Well, I never thought that this day would come.
We had hoped it wouldn't, but if it must come to this, it must.
Well, as long as you can put a stop to it before it gets worse, then I suppose we will have to put our faith in those that the Empyrean seem to have chosen. And he looks again at Bahamut, who still stays silent in this moment.
Thank you. I will take the key and I'm like, all right, let's go. I'm like trying to like scoot everyone. Okay, let's leave.
Okay. So he kind of turns back and you see he goes back to the altar and just kind of falls to his knees and begins a prayer. Deciding in this moment if the end is to come to spend it the way he spent his life. As you head your way towards the former tower of Caephus when he was not a fallen god, but one that was praised and worshipped. And you use the key to open the door. And inside, as you walk through, you find yourself in a completely darkened chamber, but with a single blue light of energy at the center. That the closer you get to the light, the more that the shadow seems to grow in the chamber, as you are in the God of Darkness in his space. Finding the catacomb entrance here will be difficult. So you can, if you have dark vision, you would have no bonuses to the roll. So everybody would be rolling at disadvantage on a check for perception to find this space.
Can I put dancing lights up? Does that do anything in this space?
The moment you cast the dancing lights, the little orbs of light appear, but the darkness in this space seems to absorb all of the light except for that blue flame at the center. So the orbs are active. You can move them. They're up for you right now, but they don't seem to illuminate anything. There is the impression here that you are in an endless dark void. When you turn around and look, you can see the doorway is 30 feet away that goes back out. But even the light of Bellinor pouring in that central chamber and lighting it up like the sun, it almost like it gets to that doorway and just stops.
What if you have superior dark vision?
Doesn't have an effect on magical darkness.
What about my...
You're muted, Atwood.
I was going to say, may I attempt to dispel the magical darkness?
You may, but I will warn you of wasting a spell slot against something that was put into place by a god.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Okay, I'm not doing that.
I am going to pull a tether and then sever it so that I can do one with the shadows. You may also sever a tether to grant sight for 1 turn in magical darkness.
Okay, good. You can do that. So that would give you a straight roll on your perception to discover the entrance to the catacombs. And you have 1 tether.
Are the rest of us at disadvantage, you said?
If you just want to let Soros do the roll.
Oh, yeah.
Natural 20. All right. So as you're kind of looking around, the moment you kind of sever the tether, the vision that appears before you is not like suddenly I can see in darkness. It is that you can see that this whole room is tethers swirling in a tight knot that is creating this magical darkness. And now that you can see them, you can also see the places where they're not and the absences and gaps in their formation. But they're moving so fast, it creates this image of darkness in this space. But as you're kind of looking, you notice there is an area of the floor here, all a very dark marble, where there is a kind of a groove set into it where it looks like you could like lift a portion of the floor up, like a trapdoor that's leading down.
Okay, I will say follow me. Since everyone's having a hard time seeing, I will give my tail to Mar, and we'll pull it.
Everybody hold hands.
And we'll do the hand chain, and I will lead over to the floor thing and try and figure out a way to pry it up.
Okay, all right. So you all kind of are led by Soros over kind of 20 feet further, 30 feet further into the room, and then you find this piece. And go ahead and make a athletics check to try to lift up the flooring here.
Athletics.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be roll a 6, so that's a 16.
16.
Okay.
All right. So you lift up the kind of the marble piece, and you can then tell that it's attached to a trapdoor. It sits up, and then below you is a ladder that descends down into a more natural darkness, but a darkness nonetheless that everyone else would be able to see. You have superior dark vision, so your vision beyond this is 120 feet straight down into darkness, this ladder descending.
I'd let Jury know that it's time for their dancing lights, and I start down the ladder.
Okay.
Exciting. Sure. Throw them up and I'll go.
All right, so Jury throws their dancing lights down into the tunnel, and all of you can suddenly see as the lights kind of go below the floor level, the tunnel underneath suddenly lights up. And so there's like this lit portion on the floor, but the rest of the room is still bathed in darkness as you go. Yeah.
Can I pull back? Well, I don't want to pull him. That seems disrespectful. But can I like hold Bahamut back for like just a moment while the others are going?
Yeah, you like make a motion for him to stop, and he kind of seems very uncomfortable in this space. But
yeah, sure. I'm sorry, this is going to seem very random. What was the name of the first Lightbringer to fall in the subversion?
Oh, the very first one.
Mm-hmm.
There were several. Well, the very first one, it was named Mikola.
Mikola, who was killed by his guardian.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I'm gonna scurry down the ladder.
Yes. And so he kind of follows after. And so you all begin to descend down the ladder, Jury's lights kind of lighting. And for 120 feet or so, it's just a tunnel with a ladder. And then suddenly about 120 feet, 150 feet. And then so the ladder opens up into a cavern, and now you are in a ladder that is just seems to be floating in a darkness of space, because as far as you can see in any direction, even if you have 120 feet of dark vision, is nothing. And so you are just sending in a ladder, hoping that you are not going to fall, but eventually after 300 feet or so of that, the floor begins to appear before you. And it is a rocky floor that looks at one point like it had pavers or stones that were carved, but it is a natural cavern system that has elements of civilization here, but long ago abandoned or untouched, at least 300 years in the past. And eventually you all get to the base of the cavern, and all that you hear is silence around you.
It's creepy as fuck. And it's just, there's no indication anyway where to go.
Yeah,
right?
so the ladder kind of hits it seems like it's at the top of this cavern system, and the pathway seems to branch downwards from it, but you can see that there are several kind of offshoots in the branch, but it's going out 120 feet, that it seems to just be kind of spiraling down for now, like almost as if this ladder was connected to an enormous stalagmite that had grown off of the bottom of the cavern floor.
Well, I guess they did call it a catacomb.
Expect more cats. And I just walk.
And you start walking. Okay. All right. So you all start making your way down into the catacombs.
Yes.
Are you, how is your movement? How is your perception? What are you doing as you're making your way through?
I'm going to take up the rear.
Okay.
Second, because I don't have I have fine investigation. good perception. Well, no, I'll be in front. Because I'm a rogue. I forget that I'm supposed to go in front.
I'll be right beside Mar with my superior dark vision.
I guess I'll be right in front of Kamala if he wants to pick the rear.
Yeah, caster's in the middle.
Okay. Bahamut kind of goes up with Marlo and Saurus, and then Enzel and Bolton and Alyria kind of take the middle section in the middle. And as you're going, Saurus, you can make the perception checks for the group, since you will not be at disadvantage doing it, because even with the dancing lights, that's only giving you a small radius of light. Saurus's vision goes beyond that.
Perception?
Mm-hmm.
Perception. 26.
26. So for the first hour of your journey, descending down and down and down, spiraling around, getting into a space where you finally, the path leads into the floor. And so now you find yourselves in a tunnel that's still massive, probably like 40 feet in diameter or so, 50 feet high. And there is a path that does have the remnants of pavers or stones. It is just the only sound you hear is the sound of your boots on rock and the occasional tumble of stone as one of you kicks and it follows. The level of silence in this space is seemingly unnatural in many ways. About an hour in, Saurus, is when you hear the first dripping of water, and you come around and it suddenly opens up into a cavern that is larger. And the only reason that you guys can kind of see all of this is that as soon as the dancing lights enter into the chamber, you just see the sudden explosion of light all around in various different spaces as the dancing lights are reflected off of hundreds of massive crystal structures that have formed within here. And at the center of the space, there is a pool of water, and seems that there had been an inclusion of water that had over time ate into this space, and they dug the tunnel through here, but the water has filled up that. And so you can tell that beyond this pool of water, there is the path continues on the other side, but it's probably about 100-foot swim across the pool.
Nothing bad could possibly be in there.
No.
That's not suspicious. Can everyone swim? I turn to the other people.
I'm insulted.
Good question.
Well, I don't know if is Alyria wearing heavy armor? Is anyone in something that would be restrictive for them swimming?
Alyria taps her armor, and it's the elven chain, so it is lighter. Yeah.
Nice.
Josh.
Yeah.
Can I just start casting shape water to make a ice boat so we can just go across?
If you'd like to.
Yes, I would like to do that.
Okay. So you cast shape water a few times, and it creates. You've got 9 people, so it'd have to be a fairly large ice boat. And how are you going to propel it across the?
Does somebody have a stick?
You have a stick.
How deep is the water? I'm gonna.
Okay. As you're kind of interacting with the water at the that you're turning into ice, you immediately notice that the light from Jury's dancing lights is shining down, and this is clear, beautiful water. But there is a point, probably 20-30 feet down towards the middle, where the light vanishes and doesn't touch bottom. So the outer reaches of this are, maybe upwards to 10 feet, but then it seems like the cavern opened up, and there is a blue hole almost at the center.
Oh, I've got a better idea.
I'm gonna fly.
Flying.
I can push it.
I want to fly.
Let's fly.
I mean, how many people does the carpet take, Source?
6. Or no, 8.
Well, I can fly. Abel can fly.
Sure.
Bahamut would probably count as 2 just because of his size.
He's big. Yeah.
Big boy.
I can fly.
I can grab. I think.
Kaimana?
I can fly. I can grab. I
You
can
can
fly
also
and grab
fly.
one person.
Well, you can fit on the carpet too.
Yeah, because I can take Bahamut,
waste a spell
Enzel, Bolton, and Alora. So that's 5. Me is 6, so there's room for 2 more.
I'm a fly. I don't want to group up just in case.
Okay.
Getting nervous.
All right. So if you are expending spell slots or wild shapes to achieve your ability to fly, go ahead and spend those.
I think you said my wild magic was like pretty inert today.
It was inert today, yeah.
Okay.
But fly is what level?
I was trying to see what level that meant. I couldn't remember. Fly is 3rd level.
So it's still roll, but it's a d20 roll.
Okay.
So you're good. You don't have to.
Okay.
roll.
Thank you.
All right. So Saurus, Bahamut, Enzel, Bolton, and Alora pop onto the carpet, and then the rest of you are flying across. Cool.
Yes.
And so as you begin to make your way, like the dancing lights glimmering and shining in the space, refracting 1,000 times in all of the beautiful crystalline structures here. Saurus, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh no.
Oh. It was going too well.
No.
8.
8. So Saurus, as you are flying the magic carpet across with Bolton, Enzel, Alora, and Bahamut, and your friends kind of take off and begin to make their way across as well. So Marlo, Abel, Jury, Kaimana, what form did you take, Kaimana?
Giant vulture.
Giant vulture. So your friends kind of flying away and the carpet moving a little bit slower than them. Suddenly you hear just like in your head, and an overwhelming urge follows this voice as you just hear, "Bring them to the water."
I fly the carpet low.
Okay, so you all watch as the carpet descends down and begins to skim the surface of the water.
Can I? Because again, Source has beach speech.
Yep.
What are you doing, Source?
We need to be close to the water.
No.
Why?
I'm gonna start moving down towards the water.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Like-
certainly fucking not.
Okay.
I'm gonna be making all kinds of like horrible screeching sounds.
right.
Like,
So immediately, kind of like you draw the screeching sounds draw everyone's attention. Saurus, on the second round, you hear, "No, deeper into the water."
I stop the carpet and I step off.
Okay. So you all watch as the carpet stops and Saurus jumps off and falls into the water. Saurus, you're immediately enveloped in cold, icy water as you begin to descend. Above you, the dancing lights of Jury in the chamber kind of slowly vanishing as rising up out of the sinkhole, a creature large, a body kind of like a remora, but with a series of kind of tentacles and tails coming off of the back, reaches up and grabs you with one of its tentacles and wraps around you. And you have never felt an embrace of such warmth and care as it drags you deeper into the chamber.
I see this, right?
We all see it.
You all saw Saurus disappear. The struggle with relying on dancing lights to see is that water is a reflective surface, and so it's difficult to see what's happening underneath the water. But
Can I
What if they
not
put-
fly
what if they
and
put the
go in
lights under the
after
water?
him?
you can fly in after him, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you dive into the water after, and you're seeing Saurus, like a tentacle wrapped around Saurus and descending down into the water, and a large shadowy form beneath him.
Okay, I can speak underwater, or I can breathe underwater, so I'm just
You
gonna go,
can.
oh, what the fuck? And I would like to go summon the wave dancer and try to cut this tentacle, like slice it through to free Saurus from this.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack roll, and then also make a Constitution saving throw.
I would like to dive bomb in and drop beast shape the moment I'm about to enter the water, so I'm an otter again.
Okay, all right. So you hit the water, and you are seeing Marlowe swinging in towards this creature as you're there.
Not
got
to
a
metagame,
21.
but would anybody left on the carpet be smart enough to go, we need to get up away from the water?
Yeah, Alyria is probably, she's your smart one. She took control of the carpet when you jumped off and has pulled it up into the air.
Okay.
Okay, I got a 21 to hit
That hits.
and a 22 on that con save.
Okay, so you take, as you kind of get close to the creature, it secretes this like cloud of like dark inky substance around it, and you can feel it kind of
Ew.
burning your skin. So you take 7 points of acid damage, and you are not diseased by this.
It's okay.
Do I take damage from it as well?
It is not purposely hurting you right now, but I do need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Because I am
Do
immune
I
to
get
disease.
to? Do I need to like roll damage?
Yeah, go ahead and roll damage. Mhm.
19.
A 19, you're good. So you take the 4 points, you take the 7 points of acid damage, Saurus, but you are not diseased. However, because he was responding to a threat and just like instinctually released this cloud, it does allow you to make the wisdom saving throw again because you took damage.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, much better.
Nice.
19 plus 5. Dirty 20.
Okay, you suddenly kind of break free, but you are grappled. Your mind is clear, but you are grappled and restrained by this creature.
No, I am
Can
not.
Oh, because you have your, yeah.
Let me find
Josh, could I have activated my Crimson Bright as soon as I hit the water
Yeah, sure. Mhm.
and like
Oh,
saw
nope.
this
Is it cold?
on this round?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would like to do cold.
Okay.
That may
Wait,
have-
is that a bad idea? Is that a bad idea? Because it's a water creature. I'm gonna
Or
do it
could
anyway.
be good idea.
I would. Okay, so that is 17 points of slashing damage with 4 points of ice
Okay.
damage.
Awesome. The ice damage does seem to do as much damage as you would like it to do. All right.
thank
With that in
And
mind,
the
go ahead.
grapple actually was with the Kakoa, so
so you don't have it yet. You're grappled and restrained.
Oh,
So
no.
on your turn, Source, you can try to break free from the restraint.
Okay.
All right. With that
I
in
would
mind,
like to help.
okay, you can on your turn you can do that. We'll go, and now since we're
Yeah.
moving into kind of a battle situation, we'll roll a quick initiative.
Sure.
All right.
So Mar rolled the extra, I think, D8.
And I'll roll for the NPCs who.
Because Mar always has my gift of alacrity.
Does
Thank you,
lucky
cousin.
lucky applies to initiative rolls, right?
You can, yeah, because lucky initiative is a skill check.
I keep forgetting I have that.
No, why do I keep rolling so well on initiative? God, I like never did, and now the game wants to spite me.
All right. So anybody 25 to 20?
I got a 20.
Ooh, Marlowe first, then Jury. Anybody 19 to 15?
16.
Okay.
17.
Oh, Abel beat Source. And then Kamana, you're bringing up the rear there. I rolled a 4 for our NPCs, which makes sense because they're all up above on the carpet.
On the carpet, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. All right. So at the top of the round, kind of realizing that it wasn't going to get a free, easy meal, it begins first to swim deeper down, and then it kind of glances up and sees it's going to make a guess as what it thinks might be the least wise creature here. And it looks up and goes, you defend me. And Abel, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Does it say, fuck you?
You.
Wisdom, you said?
Wisdom saving throw, yeah.
No, not you. The other one. The
I was
other
gonna
one.
say, DM. In a world of humanoids, he thought that the least wise person wasn't the otter.
No, animals are wise creatures. It's the one.
Yeah.
It's the one stat that animals have that they don't have intelligence, but they do have wisdom.
I tried, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you that Abel rolled an 8.
Okay.
So
no.
Abel, on your
man.
next turn, you'll need to use both your action and bonus action to defend this creature. So when it gets around to your turn, and then it's going to make 2 tentacle attacks, one towards Marlowe. Actually, both of them towards Marlowe, because the only other threatening. Well, actually, Kamana, you're there. It'll make it one towards Kamana and one towards Marlowe.
What do I do this?
First one to Marlowe, that is a 27 to hit Mar, and for Kaimana that is a 24 to hit. Each of you take 14 points of bludgeoning damage. I need both of you to make Constitution saving throws.
Nat 20.
Okay, you're good.
Baby.
19.
Okay, you're good. You feel as the tentacle hits you that it's trying to impart some kind of disease into your body, but it does not take hold. But that is the creature's turn as it dives about 20 feet further down, carrying Saurus with it, which takes us to Marlowe.
Can I, as a free action, message both Source and Kaimana, or would I need to choose one?
Since message is one way, you'd only be able to do either Saurus or Kaimana.
Okay. I am going to message Kaimana then and go, free Source, and let's get out of the water. We don't have time to fight this thing. And then I'm going to go try to cut Source out of this again.
Okay, go ahead and make another, 3 attacks against the creature?
Mm-hmm.
And you're specifically targeting the tentacle. What that'll...
Yeah, because I'm not necessarily looking to do damage here as much as I'm looking to just cut this tentacle to free him. So if that's better served as like a help action for him, I don't know.
No, so I'll say like a certain amount of damage will lower the DC on Saurus's escape. So that's probably good. But specifically targeting the tentacle will raise his AC a little bit.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I got a 20 on the first one.
That's exactly what you needed to hit.
Much higher than a 20. Much higher than a 20.
Okay, all 3 hit.
All right. So 5, 7, 12. Ones. Wow. Okay, so 14 plus 30 is 44.
44. All right, 44 points damage. That will reduce the DC for Saurus's escape.
Is this but this is a large creature, yeah?
It is a large creature, yeah. He is large.
Add another 6 to that, so give me a 50.
All right, 50 points even. Good. All right, that takes us to Jury.
Does this count as a veil creature? I'm sorry.
He's not a veil creature.
Okay, but I just had to make sure.
Yeah. Jury, that takes us to you.
Sick. Awesome. So do I have to like get in the water to target this creature?
You currently can't see because of the reflective surface of the water. Mm-hmm.
And if I take my dancing lights down, I still
if you
wouldn't
put
be able
them
to see very well.
underneath the surface of the water, then that would break the reflection.
Okay, I'll throw them down there.
Okay,
instead,
so you move them down, and then it lights up under, and you can see kind of 30 feet below the surface. You can see Saurus and Marlowe attacking something, and the creature is like enveloped in this cloud. It's difficult to see it. Also, that makes Saurus and so Marlo takes 6 points of damage. I forgot about the cloud at the beginning of that turn. Yep. So Jury, that's you. Mhm.
Yeah, how does magic work underwater? I don't think I've ever fought anything in the water in D&D, actually.
As long as you can see the creature, then it doesn't affect anything. The problem is that the creature is currently enshrouded in its cloud, and so it is, you can kind of make out its shape, but any attack rolls against it will be at disadvantage.
Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna try to cast Ray of Frost down at it.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll with disadvantage.
Okay, disadvantage roll. That screwed me. I got a 12.
Okay, that misses.
Yup.
All right.
Yep,
With
I
your
tried.
bonus action, Jury.
I'm so nervous. I'm gonna save it for now.
Okay,
Save
all
my
right.
inspiration.
That takes us down to Abel.
Wait, can I see
go ahead, yeah.
Saurus? If I
You can see Saurus, yeah.
Okay, I'll give Saurus it because he's trying to escape this grapple. So that seems like it'd be useful. All right, Saurus, you have inspiration.
All right, Saurus, you have a
Yeah.
bardic inspiration. Yep.
D10.
D10. All right, and that takes us to Abel flying up above the water. You have your friends are attacking this innocent creature, and you need to stop them.
Mm.
Marlo does appear to be the greatest threat right now.
And I have to use my action and bonus action to defend this creature.
Yes.
Cool. Cool. Alright. I just have to defend it, not attack my friends.
It is specifically being assaulted by Marlo, and it wants you to protect it.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Wall of ice between it and Marlowe.
That's
I was gonna say, does he have a spell?
I don't think so.
But something like that would work.
I had a plan to attack the creature and try to get.
Just shift it onto Mars.
I'm going to use my action to try to web Marlo.
Okay.
It's not damage. Marlo has to make a dexterity saving throw, which Marlo should be good.
Marlo should be able to do. Did Mar stepped away for a second? What are you gonna do with your bonus action?
Why am I a blaster? All I have is just like mess stuff up.
Hate to break it to you.
If you were going to if you were going to defend one of the friends in the party, what would Abel do?
I would have pulled out my force ballista, but
So that seems like to be the correct choice of actions.
oh, gosh, I'm trying to circumvent the rules here, DM. All right, cool, whatever. I have to use my action then to summon my force ballista because
Okay.
it was not summoned, and then bonus action I have to fire. Now that I've reached higher levels, I have 2 ballista
Okay.
that both fire on my bonus action.
So 2 force ballistas appear in the space and aim
Whoa,
down.
cool.
You all watch as it aims
Hey.
down towards the creature.
14.
14.
Get him,
to-
Abel.
Does not hit
is it
Marlo.
1 attack roll or is it 2 attack rolls?
It's 2 attack rolls.
So go ahead and make the second one for the second ballista.
You firing at me?
Yeah.
All right.
You all watch, and it looks
That's all I
like
have
it
to.
shoots down, and it looks like it's gonna like it goes past Marlo, and it doesn't hit the creature. So it looks like Abel just missed the creature.
That's true.
26 to hit.
26 hits Marlo.
No, he has history with Eldritch Cannons not quite hitting always.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
The second one
More
does hit
fireball,
Marlo. So go ahead and roll damage against Mar.
Oh, sure. That's not that bad. It's only
Ow! I look up, but I can't see Abel, but I know well that this is an Abel class.
it's 21 damage.
21
and
points of damage to
force.
Mar.
That is so
And
much
then
damage. Jesus.
Then another 3 from my arcane fire.
So 24 points of damage, and Marlo, you are
Yeah.
pushed
And I guess she's pushed
further deep into the water. Yeah. from the
I'm
blast.
sorry.
As this
You see this glazed over look in Abel's face as he's aiming at Marlowe in the water.
Their friendship has survived so much.
All right. That takes us to Saurus on your turn.
I've given you so much permission to hit me, and this is not one of those times.
How high is the carpet in the air?
So Alyria pulled it up. So it's probably sitting about 20 feet above the water surface right now.
I pull a tether and Misty Step up onto the carpet.
Okay. So you escape and you land on the carpet, wet and drenching. Mm-hmm.
We need to get out of range of that thing before it possesses anyone else.
Okay, you can use your movement to fly the carpet if you'd like.
I will do that.
Okay, so
I'll tell Laura to gun it.
So Alyria on their turn will gun it. You can use your turn to gun it with your movement as well, and then Alyria can take over on their turn if you'd like.
Okay.
But you move the full movement of the carpet, which takes you across the pool of water and into the tunnel beyond.
And as we get to this, I will let Mar know it's like, I've stepped up onto the carpet. We're clear.
I forgot you could do that.
All right. Okay, and that takes us to Kaimana. You just saw Saurus disappear from the water and then go up into above the water.
I want to give Mar a boost to get out of the water, like help them swim, I guess.
Marlowe's swim speed is as fast as yours.
Okay, then we're outie.
Yeah. All right, so you jump up out of the water and begin to make your way across the pool as well. And then the NPCs are all on the carpet and they're flying off that direction too. Mm-hmm. That takes us back up to the creature. Seeing its meal escape from its hand, all it can do is go after the one who is still within range. And so it's going to make 3 tentacle attacks at you, Marlowe, now that its other tentacle is free.
Okay.
21.
Yeah.
27, and the third one will miss. So 2 hit. I need you to make 2 Constitution saving throws.
Okay. 15.
That is just a success. You're good. But you do
another 15. Oh.
You do take 15, 22 points of piercing damage or bludgeoning damage as the tentacles whip against you. And the creature is kind of it's not descending or rising up. It's staying right here because you're still within its range.
Sure.
All right. And that takes us to you.
I would like to swim away.
Okay. Parting shot from it. You take
disadvantage.
Disadvantage. That's right. 20 will miss. Right?
No, 20 is the AC.
That is the AC. Okay, cool. So that is 12 points of bludgeoning damage and 1 final Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Oh, 14.
A 14?
No.
Yeah. So as like you turn and you begin to jet away from it in the water, you just feel this tentacle hit you across the back and like a sudden searing, like burning energy. And you're like, oh, doesn't feel good. But you jet up out of the water. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Luckily, my jean jacket that I'm still wearing would protect me from this damage.
Jean jacket, please.
All right. But
jean jacket,
you on your movement, you're able to get to the tunnel. Abel, it comes back around to you.
Am I before Abel?
Oh, sorry, Jury. Yeah.
Okay, I hit Abel.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll against Abel.
Because I see what's going on here, right? I'm like, what the fuck, Abel? Damn, I only got a 10. I can't hit Abel.
Yeah, you go to hit him and Abel just kind of dodges out of the way.
Abel, what the fuck? Hold still. Do I have anything else to deal damage to him with? Oh, not a bonus action. I'm gonna move away from Abel.
Okay, so you fly away from Abel. Abel, on your turn, you need to protect this creature from people assaulting it. You're muted.
I gotta protect my guy, old Tentacle McGee over here. So
If only I had any spell that wouldn't like bitch slap you so hard.
that's just I'm like I don't want to hit too hard. Well,
Josh, can I go back a little? Can I use some of my sorcery points to quicken spell and try to hit him with a spell
Yeah,
on my
sure.
bonus action?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. So 2 sorcery points, and I'm gonna hit you with the weakest shit I got. I'm gonna hit you with Ice Knife.
Okay. Go and make an attack roll against Abel.
Okay, 25.
That hits.
that definitely
Hit
hits.
with the Ice Knife.
Go and roll
Abel.
damage, and then Abel make a dexterity saving throw.
8 damage, Abel.
Dex save. Oh, 16.
I think that means he also takes the explosion damage as well.
Oh no. Yeah, because I think my spell save is much higher than that, unfortunately. So yes, it explodes, and then you take 2d6. Unfortunately, I'm sorry about that. So 8 plus. Oh, I didn't roll well. Okay, 8 plus 5. Yay!
Better than
All
the
right.
alternative.
And then now you make another wisdom saving throw before your turn.
Oh, I'm not really good at these.
I believe in you. I didn't hit you for nothing.
A 19.
Okay, so as a shard of ice stabs into your shoulder and then blows up in your face, your
Jesus.
brain fog suddenly
Not the
clears, and that is takes us back to your turn now, Abel. As you,
Oh, Jay.
yeah,
Look, we were all doing it, I guess. Come on.
It's my turn now.
yep, mhm.
I get I realized what happened, that the creature might have enthralled me.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to I see the rest of the group that way, and I just say, let's get out of here, Judy, and
Nope.
jetpack towards the others.
Okay. All right. So you get to the entrance to the tunnel as well, and then Kaimana, on your turn, you are at the tunnel entrance. You can travel further deeper into the tunnel, or you can stay with the NPCs in the group there.
I'm gonna bring up the rear of everybody. I want to make sure everybody gets through. No one gets lured back by said monster.
Okay. All right.
I remember being mind controlled.
You remember there being a voice in your head telling you to take certain actions.
But I don't remember attacking Marlowe and
Yeah.
trying to. I do remember.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm going to apologize to Marlowe profusely. I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
I don't know what came
Marlo's
over.
bad.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, on the NPC's turn, Alyria is going to reach out, and Marlowe, you heal you up a little bit.
Oh, I thought I went.
That is 26 points of healing to you, Marlowe, as Alyria kind of reaches out and casts a Cure Wounds on you.
Thank you.
And then you all suddenly feel also that you're in an aura around Bahamut that he is focusing on and maintaining. And then you keep moving, and they kind of keep flowing through. The last gasp of this creature is seeing the last meal that it has an opportunity to. So Kaimana, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Come on, Kaimana.
28.
All right. You hear the voice, come back to the pool, but it doesn't have any effect on you. And then you all disappear into the tunnel beyond the pool of water, and you just hear like a thrashing sound of tentacles in the water behind you. And then the creature dives down deep and waits.
I will say I will throw a sardine in the water.
Okay. You hear just like one little like of a tentacle, and then it dives back down.
I feel like Kaimana succeeding a wisdom
Equivalent
save
of giving
is
that
character
creature a
growth.
single grain of rice.
Yes.
Here's some rice. All right. But you guys pass through, and you enter into the tunnel beyond, and you feel yourself.
Me,
Go ahead.
take a greater healing potion that I have.
Yes, you may go ahead and heal yourself as you guys are moving. And the easiest way, if you just like sit on the carpet, and that way you don't even lose any movement as you're doing it. But you guys,
That's 12 to me.
you have the carpet out, and so this tunnel is large enough for you all for those of you who are on the carpet to still fly on it. If you'd like to continue flying, it's up to you all. But as you move into the second half or the second stage of the journey downward, how would you like your movement to go? And who is leading perceptions?
Josh, do I have any? Would Mar notice that perhaps anything is more wrong with their body than just a couple hits there?
Okay, well, I have one question for you that will be important before you answer this one. How long after the fight would Mar think to ask that?
That's a really good question. I don't know. How do I roll for this? Because I'm not sure what would make sense here.
Because Mar has
what
like
would-
high passive perception.
You do have a high
right?
its perception would not, but it's like it's almost like an
but-
internal insight, but it's like coming off of the adrenaline of a battle, right? Trying to escape. How far after the escape would Mar think like to check in with herself?
I mean, I feel like it would be like 20 minutes, right? Like where you would be like, why do I not feel better? You know, or like, why am I feeling worse?
So
even, like,
the probably the marker for Marlowe is then going to be when you kind of look at your hand and you notice that the color of your skin seems to be going darker or lighter. It's hard to tell because you can see like your bone structure under your skin. And you take 7 points of damage, and it's almost as if like you take an inhale of air and the air itself begins to burn your lungs.
yeah, probably fall into my knees here.
Okay. So you all watch as Marlowe kind of collapses and falls about 10 minutes after the fight.
Shit. I go to her. Yep.
Alonso and Zel
something
can
is
run to
very
her.
wrong, and I would like to show like my hand.
Yeah, Marlowe's skin's kind of going translucent.
We need a cleric. We need a cleric immediately.
Alyria kind of rushes up. I don't know what is it that you were fighting?
Would I know what we were fighting?
You can make a history check, Marlowe, if you like.
I would like to make a nature check.
You can make a nature check with disadvantage. Come on up.
Okay.
Because it is not
I'm not
a.
gonna have advantage on this roll, right, Josh? Faking dead.
It is not Fey Fiend or Undead.
Probably not 10.
You're not sure. I mean, there's a lot of creature stories about things that can use telepathy. There's a lot of creature stories about things with tentacles. Those are like two very common monster things.
Sure, yeah.
Source
I'll
will
rip it
describe. Source will
I'll
describe
rip off my jacket, and then I'll rip on my shirt and just point to like where that wound was, because like I feel like Mar would connect
Yeah.
that was the one that like felt weird.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
Saurus is going to describe the creature. This will give Alyria advantage on her own history check, which she gets an 18 on. And she kind of is listening to the description, and then she's looking at the wound, and she says, "An aboleth. That's not good." So she is going to attempt a cure wound, not a cure wounds, remove disease on you.
Okay.
And as she casts it, you feel this like energy kind of wash through your body, but it does not, like you think for a second, oh, this feels better. But then you take another breath and you take 9 points of damage from the breathing.
Okay.
And then she said, oh, okay, the disease has progressed farther than, what is the rule? 10 minutes, and she's kind of rushing through like knowledge in her head, and I need to see if Alyria has a spell.
Okay.
It is the heal spell.
Mar, I like message you in your head, and I'm like, too bad we couldn't bring that cleric with us because we're gonna let him let Caephus eat his god.
Josh,
Not the time.
I'm just saying.
Josh, you said the heal spell?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that.
Okay, Alyria has it as well, so it's your decision whether you want her to use the 6th level spell slot or for you to use it.
I will use it.
Okay, all right, so you inform Alyria as she's kind of getting ready to cast, and you kind of step up.
We'll need you to help us later. I'll take this now.
Okay. We only have about 10 more minutes before things are going to get worse.
And yeah, I will cast it.
Okay, cool. So in addition to removing the disease, the spell also gives 70 hit points to Marlowe. Yeah. But that disease would have gone really bad.
Back to full. I just stand up, put my clothes back on. Cool. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Wow, magic's great. I love magic.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
All right. But you guys keep making your way down. Source could make another perception check with advantage as you are in the tunnel and making your way through.
Mm-hmm. 15 plus 14, 29.
29. So as you guys keep moving, like this tunnel kind of spirals down, and then there's a few larger chambers that it opens up into. With a 29 source, you do notice in the second chamber that you go into these large creatures that are trying to hide from attention. They look almost like, it's weird to describe, like coats or jackets hanging from the ceiling of the
lurkers.
And you carefully guide the party to the other side of this cavern and out and away so that they don't drop down to the party. And then you keep making your way through into a further descent down. And like at this point, you guys have been going, Abel, that is about another hour passes. So your force ballistas expire. And then you just keep descending. It is difficult to tell how far you've gone and how much further you might have to go. But you reach the third stage of the journey. Source can make another perception check.
24.
24. So as you kind of descend down,
expertise and perception. Yes.
As you keep going down, there is a point where you get to a cavern space and you hear rushing water, and you can see a dark moving river kind of below you. But the sound as you guys are kind of flying or traveling over this, gets louder and louder and louder until you get to a rocky outcrop that opens up into a chamber that is as big as you can see in the distance, and wide, and there's just kind of like a rock wall curving away from you on the edges as this river that's next to you is tumbling over a waterfall that falls into darkness as far as you can see.
So we need to go down?
That's up to you guys, but that, like, the only thing you see is like you get it to a chamber and at least 120 feet in front of you is darkness. So you can't see the wall on the other side. And then 120 feet out on either side of you, the wall curves away. And so it's just like a void in front of you.
Josh, can I also clarify one thing?
Yeah.
When we were in where Near Bellinor was, we found a tree, right? Because this is the whole part of the plan, right? Is that we find a tree.
Why did you think of that as soon as I thought of it?
Okay, that's so funny.
You, did we not give ourselves a way to teleport back up? Did we do the tree? I'm not kidding, Aisla, you're wrong.
So if that was a time we needed to take, that should have been something our druid did Atwood. But I assume that was the plan that we discussed last time. So that if that affects our timetable, we would have had
Josh
to go.
Josh did say we could see through to the tower where the green was, where trees were.
Yeah, and also the hill itself was covered with trees as well.
Okay. So we established a tree.
So we could get back to Tanata's area.
Okay, so I would make sure you save a spell slot for your tree, please. Thank you. I just wanted to reestablish. I forgot for a second how we were getting back up, and it freaks me out really badly.
All right.
What Soros is going to do is he's going to curve and kind of keep the side in view and try and basically pull around to figure out if this road continues on the other side, or if not, then he will start to spiral down.
Okay. So the way this ends is kind of like a rocky outcropping that then there's it's a cliff face beneath you. On the either side, you could probably try to climb. It is a rough rocky face, but it doesn't have like a walking path.
No, we're going to fly the carpet.
Oh, you're going to fly the carpet? Okay. So you kind of fly the carpet out into the opening, and you fly out, and like the sound of the water kind of disappears from behind you as you fly out, and there is void.
Well, what I was going to do is fly out is kind of curve so that basically kind of go around so that
you can keep the wall on your side. Okay, yeah. So you go out to the left, and the water still kind of fades away from you, and you go. Again, that means that Marlo and Kaimana could fit on the carpet, but Abel.
I can only fly for 10 minutes.
I will grab Jury.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so Marlo is flying with Jury, and then
that's everyone covered.
And then Abel's on the jetpack. Okay.
Thank you, Mark.
So you guys are flying around, and the wall goes for how long do you want to test it, Soros?
Basically, if this wall is a big circle, we're going to end up coming back, and then we will go down.
So if
the wall ends up going, and then there's an opening on the other side with pavers, we're going to continue down that path.
Yeah, so you are following this wall, and you don't seem to be curving. Like it curved away a little bit, but then it seems to cut back, and then cuts back out, and then cuts back. But it seems to be in the same direction.
Okay.
So you could go across if you'd like to, but if following this wall, you follow for 10-15 minutes, and it's just getting you further down, like almost like are like in a ravine.
Yeah. We'll turn around and go back.
Okay, so you head back.
And start descending.
Okay, so you start kind of going down from where the waterfall is, just straight down.
Yeah, it's gonna, as we're flying back that 10 minutes, I'm gonna be slowly descending the entire time.
Okay.
So that we can eventually find a ground.
Yeah. At some point you are descending, and you arrive back to where the waterfall is tumbling off to the side in front of you. And you keep following. You can't hear where the waterfall is impacting the ground anymore. So it's this really weird thing of like the sound of a waterfall going over a cliff. Like you hear that because it's the sound of like water rushing against something. But here it's just water free flowing in the air, and you can't hear the impact on the ground. Like it is so far away that it's just this muffled roar. But with your perception check as high as it is, Soros, kind of flying near the waterfall, you do see there is a cavern entrance behind the waterfall, about still about 120 feet or so below you.
I point out to Marlo and Abel, and basically, do we go in? Do you one of you guys want to scout it before we fly through the waterfall? I can scout it.
Okay. Marlo, you go down, and you're kind of thrust into a little bit of darkness because the dancing lights are gone.
I'm with Mar, right?
Oh, if you
Mar's
fly with Mar.
me.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I can't. Mar's carrying
Yeah, that's right.
So the dancing lights can go with you.
All right, yeah.
Like.
Well, can I pass you off to Abel?
Fine. Pass me to Abel.
Unless you want to come with me, but
I can scout with you. But if you want to scout alone, it's fine. Also, you might need to fight.
I can send a Nazi in.
Well, no, because I'll get advantage if Jury's with me on this. So I'll actually take Jury.
I'm taking you with you. I'm taking you for the help action.
I'll put you on my back so you can see what I'm seeing and stuff.
I like that you're taking me purely as a flashlight, and it makes me laugh.
Yeah. All right. So go ahead and make a perception check with advantage, Marlo, with Jury's help.
All right.
This is such a funny image, and I can't stop thinking about it.
Ooh, thank you, Jury. That is going to be a 26.
26. So what you see is, as you get to the cavern entrance, you see some of those broken pavers going deeper into this cavern. And it seems like what might have happened is that there was maybe a bridge or something across a ravine here that has since collapsed. And then on the other side, it probably descended down, and then another bridge came across here, because you can see like elements of an old structure that has broken and fallen, as that water probably wasn't there when they first built it, and over time has caused enough damage to the structure to bring it down. But it does look like this, that those paver structures do continue further down into this tunnel.
Okay, I will come back out and signal people to start following.
Okay. All right.
Because this looks
so we
like
go.
the way.
All right. So you make your way down and into this final stretch. You feel like they kept saying something like a mile below the surface. You feel like you've had to have reached this point at this point. So one final source perception check with advantage.
Oh, I have to show y'all this.
Did you roll
No.
2 nat 20s?
Yes.
Did you?
Insane.
I'll take it.
What? It's
Insane
blurry.
Moment.
1 in
Can't see.
400. 1 in 400 chance odds.
You could take a picture.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We'll believe you. We'll believe you.
That looks like what my computer screen looks like.
Yeah.
Well, with a 2, you got to honor 2 natural 20s.
That's crazy.
So you avoid all of the traps and encounters that I had for you for this final section.
Yay!
And you make your way through the final bits as this section kind of spirals deeper down. And the last thing that you guys hit is at the end of this, suddenly there is like you are spiraling down and down and down. There's a couple caverns that you pass through that were natural, but the path follows through them. And there were things that you were able to dodge and get out of the way of. But as you spiral down, suddenly all of a sudden, right in front of you, a beautifully carved, gorgeous doorway, a depiction of some ancient magic on it. There are columns to the side. This gorgeous marble door stands before you.
I think we're here.
Is this it? It's just like a door?
Bahamut kind of speaks up. No, this would be the guarded entranceway into the prison itself.
Guarded by what? Yep, exactly. And who?
And he kind of says, well, suppose a slight benefit of bringing me along. And he reaches out and he places a hand at the center of the doorway. And you suddenly see that the left-hand door turns solid black, and the right-hand door turns solid white. And his hand in the center is acting as a conduit between the two energies. And he suddenly starts to gleam and glow as the first Empyrean dragon, the original light that all the other Empyreans were refracted from at the dawn of time. He takes that white energy and floods it into the left-hand door, and you just see the energy spread out and cover up the white. And when it reaches the edge, a seam of energy breaks down the center, and the door opens. And suddenly, like lights fly up around on the interior of this as a hallway stretches out in front of you, and you can see at the end of the hall, it opens up into a chamber, but it's probably 100 feet down. But this area seems immaculately preserved. White, beautiful floors, magical lanterns and lights lighting the path. Depictions of gods carved into mosaic patterns all along this path as you make your way to not only the prison of Caephus, but the graveyard of the 7 gods who sacrificed themselves to lock him away.
I feel like we should walk this last little stretch instead of fly.
Yeah.
All right. So as you,
man will pass.
yeah.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Can I grab Jury at some point?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Hey, can you remember something for me?
Yeah.
When I give you a signal, that spell that we grabbed from Aramon, like the really powerful summoning one,
Mhm.
can you remember the name Michaela
Mikola.
for me? Michaela?
It's Mikola.
Just a fun gal name. Okay, can you remember the name Michaela?
Miquela.
Oh, wow, that could have never guessed there was a Q in there.
Yeah.
The silent
Do you remember
cube.
the name? Do you remember the name Nicola for me? And they're going to be dead. So they're going to be, but they'll have moved on to the next plane.
You want me to try to summon them during
Not-
this?
How long does that spell take?
10 minutes. I think Gates 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I think it's worth it to do it now before we don't have time.
Oh no, it's one action. I apologize.
And
Or the
I can cast it as a bonus action even.
Oh, look at you.
No,
Just
it's a
wanna
reading
do-
a scroll will take.
Oh, reading a scroll still takes
It's a
time.
full
Sure,
action.
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just when I give you a signal, I don't know, but I think this is important.
All right. Just say my name and I've got you.
Okay. Thanks.
Cool. And after this conversation, I'm gonna go over to Bolton and be like, "Hey, I got you something in Azalor, and this feels really thematically inappropriate to give you right now, but we, in case things go wrong," and I hand him the blank postcard I got him in Azalor. One of the corners I feel like is bent a little bit. It's like some kind of beautiful sea postcard.
He's like looking at one of the mosaics, like these beautiful mosaics of the gods in this ancient
Yeah.
place that was constructed 300
Mhm.
years ago, and then you just like Thor in Love and Thunder sliding into the frame with
Okay.
this postcard. He says, "You really do know how to make a moment that much more impressive, Jury."
Was I supposed to wait, should I have filled it out? Should
It's
I
a
have wrote something
postcard,
on it?
Jury.
Well, hold on.
you're
And
gonna
Jerry,
write something on the
turns around.
postcard.
He writes something in the postcard and he hands it back to Bolton and it just says, "Please don't die again. Smiley face. Love, Jordan."
He kind of takes it.
That's the best I could do.
I
I dropped out of Bard school.
I missed these interactions so much, and part of me knows that we're maybe heading into potential death here.
Yeah.
And there's something I'd love to say to you now before I'm not able to say it to you anymore, Jury.
Mm-hmm.
When we save this world, I would love never to see you again.
Do I hear this?
Yeah, sure. I don't think Bolton's trying to hide it.
What about me?
Oh, yeah, you can visit anytime. Come on up.
I feel like that's fair. All right, I'll leave you alone.
He's smiling and laughing, but
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
I like
Jerry is
elbow
thinking,
him.
but he never said he didn't want to hear from me.
What to say? You can get rid of me
So
as about as
funny.
much as you can get rid of Vox Populi. So.
Oh Lord.
Mhm.
As you guys are walking, you pass by beautiful depictions of each of the gods, and only 7. Bellinor nor Caephus are represented in these murals. They're kind of in memoriam style designs here, but you do pass by Suvenar, you pass by Aeolisar, you pass by Tonatza and Mystariel and Gaios, and you make your way down through here. As you're moving in this somber, silent space, the lantern lights lighting up almost like right when you get to one of the murals, like brighter, so that one in particular is highlighted as the others kind of dim behind you as you go. It is 15 feet or so before the exit of this into the chamber beyond. You can tell that it like goes to a set of stairway that descends down into a space that you hear voices.
What kind of voices?
Make a perception check.
I'm gonna add my bardic inspiration to that. So that's 19 plus.
Bardic
14.
inspiration only 10 minutes, so it would have.
It would have,
So
gone away. Yeah. Mhm.
Sorry,
So that's 9 plus
Can
14.
Can I
23.
23.
assist, or can I make my own roll?
You can make your own roll. It's hard to like
Okay.
help somebody with hearing.
Listen closer, Saurus.
Try again. Everyone be quiet.
I do miss werewolf healing. I'm gonna be honest. That was a good bonus. That's 26.
26. Okay. So 23, Saurus, is you can hear voices. What you get is that it is several voices, but the distance is muffled and it's hard to hear what they're saying. Marlo, with your hearing, you pick up on not specific words, but you definitely can tell that there is one voice that seems to be directing the movement of other voices. And then those voices are calling out affirmatives or calling out like that they've heard the directions.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna put pass without a trace up.
Okay. You guys want to stealth towards the entrance?
To anyone who didn't hear, I will just kind of turn and very quietly say, he is not alone. He is
Then we
giving
need to hurry.
orders. His generals are here.
Okay. So you guys want to stealth into the chamber?
Yeah.
Before we do this, I'm gonna signal jury. I think it's time to pull this one.
Like
What are we gonna have time? When we get there?
Well, he's still locked up, right?
This isn't really for him. This is for someone else, I think.
Sure.
If you, I mean, just if you haven't seen into the chamber yet, if you want to wait until you look into the chamber, you can do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
I can hang back and you just give me the signal over
Okay.
the.
I would like to
bugs.
try to sneak towards and peer into the room.
Okay, so you have a stealth check, and you have advantage on stealth rolls, I believe. And
Yeah.
then Kaimana is giving you plus 10 to the roll.
Okay.
Kaimana, you'll need to
2 and a
make
1.
the stealth check
That's fascinating.
as well,
Why?
because you have to move with Marlo to maintain the pass without trace.
Okay.
And I will go with them because
Okay.
I have a good stealth as well.
Party.
30. Yeah, you rolled a 2 and you got a 30.
Yes.
Oh,
I got a 29.
And what about it?
Lord. So Kaimana, Saurus, Marlo, you kind of pull ahead as the less stealthier members, like, I don't know, the hulking Goliath in plate mail. They stay behind. They stay back. And Zell scoots up with you as well. Just wanted Zell to beat you.
Probably can. I rolled shit.
Yeah, she did. That's a 30,
Nice.
37. Yeah,
All
with
right, well,
the plus
okay,
10.
that's going on,
She's showing off for you, Marlo. So she's like
All right.
stealthing up next to you, and you guys get up to the where this hallway ends, and then there is a like a half moon dais that juts out from the end of that, and then off to the sides there's staircases that go down on either side, and so you kind of belly crawl up to the edge, so you're looking through the slats in the posterns of this dais, and you are looking down into a chamber, and it's very difficult to describe what you see, other than I can describe the chamber for you. It is a large chamber, very similar in shape and construction to where the party minus Marlowe fought they discovered Citrine's resting place, and it was empty. Citrine wasn't there. The dragon. Very similar in shape and construction to that, similar rocks, similar Zephrysite nodes within the stones here around. And then it has a second tier that drops further, and then a third tier that drops into nothingness except for light and energy and a swirling mass of something undescribable at the center of this chamber. As you can kind of tell that maybe that is the prison structure for Caephus. Around it, there are nodes and dioceses of Zephrysite, and you can see there is an individual, tall, wearing a gorgeous long navy blue coat with brass buttons, gorgeous golden embroidery. It's kind of a slit tail coat that opens up with a large doublet in the front, a vest, a beautiful blouse, a gorgeous hat on her head, blonde shock of hair, a tall elven woman standing kind of giving directions to what you see as a group of about 7 or 5 or 6 to 7 individuals in black robes who are moving around to each of the little nodes around the central prison structure and are beginning to interact with them. In the corner, what you see is how these individuals got into this chamber. They didn't come the way that you did. Curled up in the corner, its eyes glossy white and coursing with energy, you see the dragon that has dug a tunnel from underneath the Eldritch Peak to here to build passage so that the shadow could get to Caephus's prison. The Empyrean dragon Citrine sitting in the corner of the chamber, waiting. And we'll take a 10-minute break there.
Oh my god.
Let me say for the record.
Planned this for that long?
I knew that's what Citrine was doing.
Yeah.
Let me say for the
That's
record.
just crazy.
Effect.
Yep.
Josh, would I be able to make a smart person check on who that person is?
Yeah.
The lady.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. When we get
Can
back.
I make a Jace just says a name?
Yeah.
Makes the check.
Yeah.
Is it the fucking Alyria High Wand?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sent the Tide Warders to as a distraction to the
Yeah.
Blight. Mm-hmm.
And this is a devil.
Yep.
Cool.
The devil whose name you need.
Yep.
Better the devil we know.
Hey, ma'am. Sorry to interrupt what you're doing right now. Could we possibly? I just need your name real quick for the record.
But you do have the spell and the components that you need in order to get the name if you want it.
That's true.
All right, but we'll take 10 and come right
Okay,
back.
gamer.
Yep.
Yes, we do.
We gotta.
All right. So, as you're peering over the edge, I know you guys are going to talk and you're going to have plans and you're going to discuss like what this is going to look like, but I want you to see kind of what you are seeing. So let me make sure I know the blur's on right now, but all right. So as you're peering over the edge, this is what you see here. And oh no.
What?
Bluetooth mode.
Oh my god, so cool.
So the
Bluetooth connection.
yeah, Bluetooth, thanks. So the energy kind of shooting out of the center there. There we go.
Oh, that's a
Where
mean looking dragon.
And then Citrine in the corner, and then off the on the far end from where you guys are on this side over here, on the far end, that's where the woman that you identify as Valeria High One is standing and delivering orders, and then the 7 individuals with her have arrayed themselves around that central portion, kind of there like that.
Mhm.
I'd like to scuttle back to the group.
Okay.
And get to a portion where I think I can talk to everyone and we're out of earshot of these clowns.
Yeah, you guys can move back down about, halfway through the tunnel, and you are in a space where it is safe to discuss without any fear of them overhearing.
That's Valeria High One. That's the devil. We should do that spell to learn her true name now.
Okay, Josh, what do I know about the spell? Like, how close do I need to be? This and that.
Okay, so the way that the spell is written is that you cast the spell, and then in the moment of their last breath on this plane of existence, before they're ripped back to the infernal realm, their name is given to you.
So you have to be like in earshot.
And you have to kill them.
Well, that answers your question, Chase.
Mm-hmm.
How long does the spell last? So basically, could Jury cast the spell now, and then we go in and kill her 10 minutes later, and it still be
Yeah, that's a
active?
good call.
Yeah, so the spell lasts for 24 hours. So as long as you, after casting the spell, as long as you do it within the next 24 hours, then you'll be able to gain the true name of the devil.
Jury casts it here, and then we go in.
Do we have to do this fight? Is there no other way?
I mean, what happens if we don't?
Then they open the door. He goes free. She probably either goes back to the blight, or she comes up with him.
I think, like you said, we're going to have to fight her anyway.
If she were to fight with Caephus, it would be really bad. Like if we had to fight both of them.
Well,
Okay.
there's already going to be people with Caephus, so
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's going to be worse if she's with them too.
yeah, we can try to just sneak attack them right now, and just.
Yeah, Josh.
I mean, if we can get the hit on her first and try to break her control, because I have to assume she's the one controlling Citrine, then we probably add Citrine as an ally.
So concentrate our firepower on her.
Yeah.
Try to take her out as fast as possible. And maybe she teleports out. I mean, I don't know. But don't focus on the shadows. Let the shadows do what they're going to do.
They're not shadows, they're people. Sorry, when like the
The shadow.
The shadow. As you're talking about Citrine, Bahamut, who is a very quiet individual, does speak up and says, I don't think it's within the power of a simple devil to control an Empyrean.
So do you think she's doing it
Who
because
do you
she
think
wants
is?
to?
Does she want to? An Empyrean only does what they want. But Javaraya was corrupted. Where did you say you found Citrine the first time?
Explain to him the pit and everything.
What were those voices?
The primals.
So she is as mad then as Caephus.
Oh, God.
Great.
That's not good either.
I wonder if I gave him the helm of telepathy that I have infused, maybe he could have a chance to snap Citrine out of their madness by using The suggestion spell? I don't want to try it myself, is what I'm saying.
He says, that is within my power to do. Without your gifts, I can attempt to control her and keep her off the battlefield.
That would be useful.
If that's not too hard on you.
Technically, she is my daughter. I will do my best.
If it becomes too much, let us know.
I will.
Okay. Yeah.
From what we saw, is there a good way to like position ourselves to like be able to get to them quickly or like without them seeing us?
So, unfortunately, the way that the room is kind of set up, you guys are coming in. Like, imagine if this is like a 4-story building, that little overlook is like the second floor. And there's stairs on either side that go down to the floor of the chamber.
There's put a hole in that, then you could go straight down.
You could just drop down to the floor behind it, yeah.
Okay.
One other potentially dangerous thing is that I could take me and maybe one other person into the veil, into the Shadowfell, go across and then blip out behind her.
I feel like going into the Shadowfell right now is a really bad idea.
Hence this would be dangerous. But
I mean, if we just like blast this thing open, like, I mean, I don't know, like set dynamite on this and just blast it open, jump down on them, like, what are they gonna do? You know? We'll at least get the surprise on them.
How well lit is the room, Josh?
So the room is not incredibly well lit. Each of like the Zephyrsite around here, normally you've seen like dormant Zephyrsite. Here it is imbued with magical energy, and so they're glowing with this magical energy. They're giving off a little bit of light. So around each of those, I'll pull up the screen again.
What I'm asking is the technicality of using my one with the shadows.
Oh, yeah. So technically, I'll show you on the screen so that it's easier for you to kind of make that plan. Each of these like lights are emitting 5 feet of dim light. So between them, there's shadow around all of those lights. The bright light in the center, while it is bright, is only emitting bright light into that inner circle where those individuals are standing. The rest of the room is in relative darkness.
So I could
wait.
and scatter around the outside.
That's actually a pretty accurate representation of the light in the chamber.
Yes. Also, wait. I have pass wall on my staff. So we can make this dais just like, you can just go through it.
Oh, we could just jump down.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Let's do
Yeah.
that.
Oh, she's on the upper level though, right?
Yeah, so you guys are like, I didn't build this part. You're like 20 feet up here, and then this floor is 20 feet below you, and then that floor is about 7 or 8 feet below that one, and she's on the first set round.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to go down one level to the outer ring of light brights, and then the 7 shadows are down one more level.
Yes, and that's where the cage is.
Yeah, so we need to be tier 2 if we're fighting her.
Yeah, she's on tier 2, and the shadows are all on tier 1.
Mm-hmm.
And Citrine is also on tier 2.
Okay, because I can one with the shadows blip down, skirt around the outside, and get over to her.
I mean, if I just go through this wall, I can get to her.
Yep. So let me get in position, then you come through, and we do our old flanking.
Yep. and everyone else can come through that wall
After
and get in
you.
a good spot
Yeah.
to hit
Alright.
spells, so we can all just do one giant round on her.
Yep. And before you guys jump into action, Alora casts Aid on the party.
Nice.
You all have 15 temporary hit points.
How many did you say? 15?
15.
That's right.
Thanks,
15.
Laura.
And I am going to use some of my monk wholeness of body to get me back up to full strength.
Yeah, this is a
That
moment
was-
where they don't know you're here yet. They seem to be moving
Mhm.
into positions. You kind of backed out of the room, so you don't know what's happened since the conversation began, but yeah. Nobody has come after you yet.
Right before we do this, I would like to go into my Changebringer essence.
All right. Yeah.
And
Do I have any special things to add?
do I want to use that here or not? Or I don't know if I want to use that here or not.
Okay. So what we'll do is
Jury, do you want to wait? You have that on your staff, right? So that's not costing you a spell slot.
Nope. I actually would like
Okay.
to use it because I can't absorb anything right now. Otherwise, my staff will explode. So
oh, because you're full charges. Yeah.
yeah, so it actually would be great if I could use some of the charges
I
on
could
the staff.
Herald in the purple crayon, straw hole in it. But
No,
that's
I
okay.
need to actually use some
Yeah.
of these so the staff could be more useful if you've
And
used some of
Josh,
it.
Yeah.
I load my pistol with the special bullet from Mort.
Okay.
Ooh.
The pass wall is good too because it means everyone can get into the room effectively. So
Yeah.
Whenever, once we start.
Yeah, you don't know what the like if you guys are peering out, the dais wasn't like a jut out that just stopped. Like it had a curved structure that went down. And so if the pass wall goes through, how far does the pass wall go through?
It can go 20 feet deep.
Yeah. So about 20 feet down. So technically like that hole is going to go through that whole structure and it will drop you out right at floor level.
Oh, sick. That's so awesome.
You're still falling 20 feet through a hole, but you're hidden
Yeah.
the whole time you're falling.
Yeah.
All right.
Sweet.
That's so funny.
So does Jury go out to cast?
And let me also clarify, are we not trying to kill the shadow guys if we can help it so that they can complete this ritual to open it? It seems like.
We are concentrating on her.
First, and then if after the fact we can.
And we don't know how to open this door. So
So let's try to keep them alive if we can help it. At least one of them alive. I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
my gut instinct says they'll be focused on that over fighting us, but
Okay.
yeah.
Sweet.
So let Jerry go ahead.
All right.
Jerry cast the spell to get the devil name.
Does my I'll cast a spell for the devil name. What
Okay.
spell slot do I need to use for that?
It's a spell. It's a scroll.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
I
but
love these
it does
scrolls.
burn the unicorn horn dust and the Garistro blood that you guys had. So
Beautiful.
those are gone. But the spell is active, and Jury's eyes like flood red for just a moment, and then go back to their normal state.
Nice. Beautiful.
So I guess I'll go start creeping in the position.
Okay. And Jury's going out to cast the spell. Jury, as you guys starting to move into position, as you're getting ready to open this hole on the dais, you're looking out at the chamber, and they have not moved in the 10 minutes that you were talking after you saw them moving into position. All 7 of those individuals of the shadow are still just standing there. Valeria Highwind is just standing there.
Can I do an insight check?
Yeah, is this a trick?
That is a 24.
you get the distinct impression that they are waiting for something. And that's where we'll pick up next week.
Oh, that's so scary.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Pretty cool.
Yay!
Oh my god, Josh.
Josh is enjoying this.
A heart attack.
I mean, you guys,
That was so
this
good.
is the end of this. We're heading towards the end.
And
So
it could be anything from the death of a second Lightbringer enough to knock the veil, or they're waiting for we are foretold to show up.
fuck you, Rob. All right, so
Way to go, Rob.
so as Jury is getting ready
You
to cast the, I had the ending. As Jury is getting ready to cast the spell, you all feel a pulse of energy shoot through you as you're reminded of the exact same energy that you felt in Nuevia when you witnessed the first Lightbringer's death.
Fuck.
Yeah.
10 minutes, not even 10 minutes later, a minute later, you feel a second pulse of energy.
Shit.
They're just
30
going
seconds
in
later,
order.
you feel another pulse. 30 seconds later.
It's up.
And eventually, when it's done, you feel 8 pulses or 7 pulses as all 7 of the remaining Lightbringers are assassinated in their towers. And there are no protections to stop the veil from rushing to Anorvere. And that's where we'll pick up next week.
Oh my fucking
Giant
god. Oh
So
my god.
Rob made it a worse cliffhanger. That's fun.
Good night, y'all.
Amazing.
Night, everybody.
Night.
Good.